And we're back here on Inside the Ropes. We are with a legendary professional wrestler and trainer and all the other hats that you've worn. It's Mr. Al Snow. Al, nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
So the main event of WrestleMania this year was Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, and ever since I knew we were going to be talking to you, I've just been, can't wait to get your opinion on this main event, because Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, they have this title match. It seems to be the match that in a lot of fans' minds, where they read internet dirt sheets or whatever, that, you know, Roman Reigns is going to win, and that's going to be what happens, and then Brock ends up winning the match. But the fans, I mean, we were there in the arena, and the fans just turned on the match before it happened. There was nothing they could have done, really, it seemed, to get that crowd on board. What do you think about that main event, how it played out, and the kind of weird interaction of fans hijacking a whole match?
They do all the time. Fans hijack the match all the time. There is this thing that we call the psychology of anonymity, and that means that the more anonymous an audience becomes, the more that you can get them to be swept up in the emotion of the moment. Unfortunately, nowadays, there are those fans, the vocal minority, who will lead the rest of the audience by being more vocal, starting chants, and trying to either hijack a particular match or hijack the entire show. And it ruins it. You know, it ruins it for them. It ruins it for the vocal minority fans, because they're trying to get themselves over. They're trying to show that they know more than what the performers in the ring are doing. And what you have to understand, and I can't make a judgment on that match because I don't know where it's going. I don't want what the business, what the purpose was of that match or that finish that's going to lead to the next step, the next chapter. That's like judging how good a book is by reading just one chapter of it and then going, oh, well, yeah, I know. And that's what a lot of the vocal minority do, is that they judge a story that's being told. And you have to understand, the story is being told sequentially over weeks and months. Hopefully, you'll be able to draw that story out over weeks and months and potentially, you know, have a payoff months away to a year away. You know, those are the best, the build for those. But they're judging the whole story on just this one chapter that they don't know what's going to happen in the subsequent ones following. And then they, in turn, based on that judgment, decide to hijack the show. And because of the fact that the audience cannot be any more anonymous than they are at WrestleMania, because there's such a massive audience there. And it's already a huge event. Everybody's primed, and it's in a semi-darkened arena, so they don't have to feel, self-conscious, and they don't have to worry that the person across the ring can see them reacting and chanting, and they get swept up and they go along with the vocal minority, you know. And it's too bad, because, you know, we live in the day of information, and that access to that information breeds familiarity. And familiarity always breeds contempt. The more you become familiar with something, but only on the surface, the more contemptuous you become of the very thing that you're familiar with, that you used to just love and enjoy just at first sight. You just take it at what it is and you just enjoy the ride. But now, because you've become so familiar with it and you've become so informed about it, you assume that you have knowledge about it, and you become contemptuous about it, and you now second guess and you question, and I would never do that, which, you know, football fans, soccer fans, basketball, you know, they all do it. And again, they're completely entitled to it. But what would happen if soccer teams were to now, the managers were to dictate what players they put in the game based on a vocal minority who get on the internet about what should be done and how the plays should be done and things like that? How well would the team work out?
Not very well.
Oh, what do you think is going to happen to wrestling?